Greetings, everybody in the Kerbal Space Program universe. This is DEATHRAT69, also known as George C. And I'm playing the Kerbal Space Program, version 0.90.0.705. I've installed a couple mods. First mod I installed is KW Rocketry Release Package, version 2.6D. I've also installed the MechJeb 2 Flight Guidance Computer, version 2.4.1.0, and I've also installed the Near Future mods, and that would be the Near Future Construction, Electrical, Propulsion, Solar, and Spacecraft Parts mods. The craft we're looking at here took me a little while to build. I've been playing the Kerbal Space Program for a while, and I'd like to think that this is a very well-designed spacecraft. I call it DEATHRAT Launch System 1. It has 1,814 parts, and it has 22 stages. And if you really look at it, there's a lot of intricate construction. We take a look at it. Up top over here, we have the manned lander segment. Then we have a fission-powered mothership. Fission-powered mothership has 6 robotic probe landers, capacitors, batteries, nuclear reactors, lots of hydrogen. Matter of fact, the center module also has its own propulsion. If we get in here, it has its own propulsion. Heck, we've got a Vasimir plasma thruster, small nuclear reactors. It's a very, very nice craft. Big solar panels. Heck, the fission-powered section is powered by magnetoplasma dynamic engines. We look at our second stage here that's designed to power this thing into orbit, and it's using asparagus staging. I'll put up a diagram that explains asparagus staging at some point in the video, but you'll notice that there's a center stage and there's 6 external stages, and basically each KW Rocketry V15 LFT tank has a set of engines, the KW Rocketry Griffin Sentries, and when all these stages burn, like when this stage burns, this fuel line flows into this tank, and then into this tank, and then into the center tank. So basically you get like a fuel wash going like this, and along with separately timed stage ejection and this fuel plumbing, asparagus staging can get you into a higher orbit faster and more efficiently with less parts. We'll cover that later. And then this is the massive first stage. I mean, it's massive. Got a couple Kerbals running around. Well, excellent. With all that said, let's launch. Okay, we're here at the Kerbal Space Program. We're ready to launch. You can see DEATHRAT Launch System 1 in all its glory. It's got a massive first stage. Those are big 5-meter rocket segments. Got the asparagus staged second stage, the fission powered third stage, and then of course the very powerful planetary lander fourth stage. Okay, Camtree Kerman and Ledman Kerman are ready to rock and roll. Let's activate the MechJeb Flight Guidance Computer System. We'll go to the Ascent Guidance System. We'll set up for an orbital altitude of 135 kilometers. Okay, we'll prevent overheat, force roll, corrective steering, auto stage, and auto warp. Let's activate the vessel info. You'll notice that the vessel mass is 12,980.327 tons. Max acceleration and current acceleration is 0. Surface status. Our MechJeb control module is 23 meters to true altitude off the ground. Okay, let's go to orbital info. Our apoapsis is 96 meters. Let's go to delta V. Okay, currently we have a delta V on the first stage of 1 minute 1 second atmospheric flight time with 2,594 delta V. Okay, let's engage the autopilot and let's launch. 3, 2, 1, 0. DEATHRAT launch system 1. Take a look at the map. We'll see what's going on real quick. Currently, that's it. We have an apoapsis of 20 kilometers. If our engines were to shut off, we would just fall into the ocean. And our engines will not be shutting off. Okay, the first stage has successfully ejected, and we are now full power on the second stage. The second stage engines are building up power. They max out at 11,000 kilonewtons. You'll notice that 2 tanks are emptying much quicker than the other ones. That's my asparagus staging in full force. This external tank is emptying very fast because via a tube it's running into that tank, and then the center tank. So once these 2 tanks eject, the remaining tanks will be fully fueled. So that's the asparagus sequence 1. And you'll notice that we still have tanks burning at full power. And this tank is full, basically. This tank is full. The center tank is full. That's because this tank, while it's burning, is sending fuel into this tank, which in turn is sending fuel into this tank. Actually, believe it or not, SpaceX will be doing this on the Falcon Heavy. So, I mean, this is something they do in real rocketry. Obviously not on the level that we're doing it here in the Kerbal Space Program. I mean, this is the DEATHRAT launch system 1. This is massive. Humankind has yet to power this type of craft, but we're about to have another asparagus staging ejection sequence. Excellent, excellent. And you just see those tanks dropping away. Heck, you can see all our refuse. That's the first stage still dropping. That's the first asparagus tanks. Here's the second ones. And you'll notice right here, you just look at it. Sorry, here we have extended fuel tanks. Yeah, you'll see this tank is emptying via that fuel line into this tank. This tank is emptying into this tank. So when the 2 external tanks are done and they eject, the center tank will be fully fueled. Okay, while we're at it, we need to turn on the nuclear reactors. We're going to need nuclear power. These are the MXL fission reactors. Turning them on. These are the primary reactors on the ship. They'll be powering the magnetoplasma dynamic drive. 3, 2, 1, 0. basically a big version of the Vasimir system. Okay, let's start up the reactor. Okay, and you notice the cooling radiators on the reactor get hot when the reactor's on. Okay, we're about to have another ejection. These tanks are running out of fluid. Fuel. Let's check it out. And there's the Kerbal Space Program. Bam. Shut down and ejection. And there you have a perfect demonstration of the asparagus staging and plumbing system. Take a look at this tank. It's fully fueled here. Okay, our apoapsis is 127 kilometers. Our periapsis is negative 265. We're still in the middle of our gravity turn. Okay, this reactor is not on. Let me start it up. Okay, that reactor's not on. Let me start it up. Okay, we're out of the atmosphere. Let's deploy the radiators for the fission reactors so they can power up to full power. You'll notice the fission reactors producing like 140, 150 energy units per second. Those need to get up, the reactors need to get up to 3,000. The engines take about 3,000 apiece. So what are we looking at here? We're coasting to the circularization burn point. Let's take a look here. This is what we got so far. We're going for the orange orbital reference here, but right now, if we were to not do a gravity burn when we get up here, we would just like land back into the planet. But right there at that point, that's our maneuver delta V. We're gonna have a 3-minute and 57-second maneuver where we burn off 403.9 meters a second worth of delta V, and that'll get our orbit circularized. Let's go back to the craft here. Okay, take a look at it. There's some of our previous stages. Okay, let's take a look at nuclear reactor control. We'll go to reactor control. Okay, MX4 fission reactors should be off. Excellent. There we go. Got an MXL on, 43-year core lifetime, another MXL on, another MXL. Should have 6 of them. Good. All the MXL reactors are functional. Okay, let's deploy the solar panels. We are at 80 kilometers. We're outside of the atmosphere of the planet Kerbin, so there's no atmospheric drag. We can deploy all our radiators, all our solar panels, everything. And let's see what's going on with the delta V. Take a look at the delta V. This final chemically powered stage that's about halfway filled. It's a 5-meter fuel tank. Has the KW Rocketry Griffin Sentry engine with a maximum thrust of 11,000 kilonewtons. This stage has a remaining delta V of 128 meters per second. Basically 16 seconds of vacuum time burn, and we need 402.7 millisecond burn to circularize our orbit. So the bottom line is, this thing's going to produce about 1/3 of the power we need. When our magnetoplasma dynamic engines kick in, all 6 of them, we're going to rely on those to get us orbital. It's kind of a hair of the neck type of maneuver here, because we actually could use a little more. We could use a couple more rockets, maybe solid boosters at the initial launch to get us in a better position. But regardless, everything's looking good. Okay, the MechJeb flight guidance computer started the burn early. You must realize that this is just a massive craft and we have to start before we reach the apoapsis, which is still 2 minutes and 14 seconds away. We're burning big time here on the KW Rocketry V15 LFT. Let's take a look at it. We're circularizing. We're still at negative 189 kilometers for the periapsis. Let's take a look at it on the map. Yeah, we're not quite orbital yet. We're still slamming into the planet. Not a very good feeling. Okay, the first stage is about to be done. First stage, shutdown and ejection. Activation of the magnetoplasma dynamic engines. That was easy to say. Okay, we also have a special surprise. We've got a built into this craft. We have an emergency rocket, KW Rocketry SC1 LFT. It's chemically powered, and we're going to shut it down. Going to save that for something else. Okay, how we doing on energy consumption? Doing good. We're actually running all available Vasimir engines. Not only are we running the big ones, the LF9s, but we're running the small ones, the VW200s. Now we're not running the 2 small nuclear power reactors attached to the center hull, so we might have some energy problems. Not really. I mean, we're in the negative, but we have a ton of battery power to compensate. We also have super discharge capacitors. So we're at negative 130 kilometers. We are before the apoapsis, and we still are moving upwards. So I feel pretty good about this. We're by no means orbital yet, so let's just watch and see. Let's see if this magnetoplasma dynamic, let's see if these magnetoplasma dynamic engines can actually get us orbital. That would be pretty incredible. We might have to turn on the emergency chemical rocket. Good news, we've gone orbital. Excellent. Our apoapsis is 140,000 kilometers. Our periapsis is only 31 kilometers. I mean, at this point, we will fall back into the ocean, and we're past our maneuver node point. But you know, the atmosphere, the altitude is increasing. Let's give it a little spritz from the emergency engine. You know, let's get a little help here. Okay, we're at 42 kilometers. How much fuel we got on this thing? Yeah, let's not use too much of it. Shut it down at 55 kilometers. There we go. Let's shut these down. Okay, the VW200 plasma thrusters are off. Yeah, you can tell because now our battery power is increasing. Our periapsis is at 61 kilometers. We still have a lot in this burn, but the good thing is if we were to shut off the engines, actually at about 70 kilometers of altitude, if we shut off the engines, we would actually stay orbital. We would not re-enter. So we're orbital. There's the moon, or the mun, behind us. We've got some debris from our craft 26 kilometers behind us. And yeah, you can see that Our periapsis is 71 kilometers and our apoapsis is 141. Things are progressing perfectly. All right, here we are. We're here for some orbital activities. We're orbiting the planet Layhe, which is a moon of the gas giant Jool. There's Jool. Got some other planets here in the background. Not really sure which planets those are. Let's go to our 3D map mode. Okay, there we are orbiting Layhe. And there's Jool, there's Val, there's Tylo, Bop, and Pol. Then we unzoom and you see exactly where we are in the solar system. We came from there, right around there. Alright, well, let's commence some orbital activities. Okay, we'll turn on our lights, get some lights here, lights, camera, action, and before we send the manned lander down on the planet Layhe, Layhe has got not a lot of land, a lot of water. We're going to practice landing on some land. So let's actually retract the solar panels just so we don't accidentally damage them. Let's turn off the lights here. It's pretty bright. And okay, good, that solar panel's retracted. Okay, and let's get this probe going here. Okay, RCS thrusters activated. We're aiming retrograde. That's prograde. That's retrograde. Okay, and here's the probe lander. Let's actually decouple. Okay, we've decoupled. Right. There we go. Man, I actually made a mistake on this probe lander. I've used all the RCS thruster fuel in it. It has no RCS thruster fuel. That's fine. We've got reaction wheels right here in our Probobodyne Octo. So we do have some gyroscopic system. Okay, we'll turn up. Okay, let's give it some rocket thrust. Okay, excellent. We've successfully detached from DEATHRAT Launch System 1. Excellent. Let's go back to DEATHRAT Launch System 1 real quick. Let's turn off the RCS thrusters and let's open the solar panels. Alright, and we're -1 probe lander. And the craft won't fly right unless it's, you know, symmetrical. So we're going to have to land that probe lander too. You do 2 at a time if you're going to try to go anywhere. Alright, let's go back to the probe lander. Probe lander is actually flying away. Okay, here we are, we're at the probe lander. And let's examine the probe lander here. Probe lander's got some power. Good, we're full electrical. Solar cells are functional. Okay, let's aim retrograde here. Matter of fact, let's not aim anything. Let's just go right here to the MechJeb auto guidance system, and we'll select landing guidance. Excellent. Show landing predictions. Okay. Okay, we'll deploy parachute. Auto warp, deploy landing gear. Excellent. Let's pick a target. And the target, I think we're just going to go really close to the equator here. I think we're going to go like, what biome do we want to do first? Let's try that area right there, right by that coastline. Okay, let's land a target. Okay, let's see what this probe lander is doing here. Okay, we're moving to a high deorbit burn point. Mothership is zooming away here. We're doing a high deorbit burn. Excellent. Wow, we are like really close here. We're within 600 meters, 400 meters. I'm impressed. 147 meters. Wow. We're coasting towards a deceleration burn. Looks like the Kerbal Space Program website is having problems. Yeah, at this moment, I don't have a lot of data for you. Our data connection to the orbital mission has been severed due to Kerbalistic radiation. Okay, we're coming in. We're coming in fast. We're coming in at 1.8 kilometers a second. We're at an altitude of 38K. And we're in the higher levels of planet Kerbin's atmosphere. Matter of fact, while we're flying, we're going to turn on the barometer. Okay, that's pretty flimsy. Let's log the pressure data. Yeah, that's extremely flimsy. See what kind of temperature we're looking at. Negative 60 degrees. Okay, log the temperature. Let's turn off the display. How are we looking here? It's looking like we're going to land right there. Counting on some atmospheric drag and probably maybe a burn to get to that spot. Okay, we're re-entering. Excellent. Okay, it's a real nice island. We're scouting this thing out for a manned mission. We've chosen a landing spot right here on the coastline. It's going to be a really pretty spot. We're still coasting towards a deceleration burn. Huh, okay, there's the parachute. Yeah, I don't know about this. And currently, I feel like we're going to actually hit the water. But I guess it's going well here. Alright, for our first flight, we'll try it with the parachute. And for our second flight, we'll try it without the parachute. So ideally, the best way to bring in the manned craft. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Ideally, the best way to bring it in would be strictly on powered descent. Coming in at extreme angles, I'm taking pictures, really screws things up. Okay, coming down. There we go. Very nice. Very nice landing. Excellent. Really, really nice. Let's actually transmit some data. Why not? What the heck? Communitron's coming out. Probably gonna use a ton of power doing it. Hey, alright. Yeah, really nice view. Well, let me try another one. Let's go to map mode. DEATHRAT Launch System 1. Switch to it. Let's land another probe lander. Let's do this. Yeah, we're being thorough. We'll try two types of landing. One with parachute and thrusters, and one with thrusters only. Okay, let's put the solar panels back in. Okay, solar panels are back in. Let's turn off the landing guidance system. Turn on the smart-ass system. Aim retrograde. Actually, turn on the RCS thrusters for a second. Get us retrograde. We're doing good on amount of propellant for the RCS thruster system. Okay, and the craft that we're going to use, we already used that one. Still have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have to do this inside one right here to maintain balance on the craft. So that's the deal here. Okay, I've got all the lights on. Let's turn off the RCS thrusters. And first thing we're going to do here is we're going to target an RCS thruster tank in the center assembly. And we're going to actually, hold on here. Target the center tank, monopropellant. Target that one, excellent. We're going to transfer a bunch of monopropellant into that tank. We've filled up the tank for the RCS thruster fuel tank, monopropellant for the probe lander, and we're going to decouple the probe lander. Okay, we just went, I'm sorry. Okay, we decoupled. There we go. Let's get this probe lander out of here. RCS thrusters active. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Let's get out of here. Okay, let's stabilize. Oh. Okay, let's thrust out. Just we don't want to hit that fin. All right, real nice. Yeah, we've successfully disengaged here from the mothership. Let's go back to the mothership. Okay, we'll deploy the solar panels, turn off the lights, and the mothership is all set. Let's go back to the probe lander. Okay, as far as the probe lander goes here, let's activate the LV909 liquid fueled engine. Okay, let's get some thrust here. Okay. Good, we're moving away from the ship at a pretty good speed. Now let's turn off the smartass system here. And we'll go to our landing guidance system. We'll turn off deploy parachutes. We'll show landing predictions. And pick a target. Wait. There we go. We're just going to do that. We just went with the original coordinates. We're going to do that. Let's land a target. Excellent. Okay. So there's our mothership. We're zooming away from it. Time accelerating. We're moving to a high deorbit burn point. Yeah, this is pretty impressive right now. The MechJeb landing computer has me within 560 meters of my selected target here. I mean, I think I'm going to land on the coastline like the other probe lander. This is looking pretty good so far. Yeah, this is a really nice island to land on. Okay, there's my previous probe, 92 kilometers away. I'm traveling at 1.7 kilometers a second. I am screaming here. Okay, here we go. The atmospheric drag is creating friction. We're heating up. We're re-entering. We're slowing down pretty good here. Traveling at about 1.5 kilometers a second. Coming in with no parachute. A ton of fuel though. I think we can do it without a parachute. Okay, we're at 8.5 kilometers altitude. We're traveling at about 400 meters a second. Slowing down pretty quick. I mean, are we going to overshoot here? Waiting for a deceleration burn here from the MechJeb auto landing guidance system. Waiting for a gear deployment. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Alright. We've got touchdown of 2 probe landers. I gotta say, that's totally awesome. Well, I guess it's time to do it. Let's bring some Kerbals down here. Here we are orbiting Laythe. Let's start landing operations. Wow, that's a nice shot of Jool and one of its moons. Excellent. Actually, let's see, which moon is that? Here we are. Here's Laythe. Okay, that's probably Val. Or Tylo. But cool. Let's get this landing done here. We're going for a land landing. Okay, let's retract the solar panels on the mothership. Let's activate the RCS thrusters. They were activated. And let's eject. Okay, we'll go to the mothership and we'll use its RCS thrusters since those are very powerful. Okay, mothership is robotic. It does have a manned, not a manned, but a section that can be manned by Kerbals, but right now it's empty. It's on robotic mode. Fine. It's parked in a nice orbit. 101 kilometer apoapsis and periapsis. Okay, let's go to the lander. Okay, as far as the lander goes, it's a heavy lander designed for planets with a larger gravity well than the planet Kerbin. We've got 6 deorbiting engine modules. Deorbital engine modules. Those help us deorbit so we don't use any fuel from our lander stages and lander engines. Got a center tank. Really, they're more for structural purposes and in craft creation. Feeding via little fuel lines directly to the external tanks. When we're done, we'll eject all that. Alright, let's activate the deorbiting engines. Deorbiting engines are active. Let's get some distance from... Wait, let's check out the landing lights. Whoa, those landing lights are powerful. Okay, excellent. Let's get some distance here from the mothership. Okay, gave ourselves a nice little burst. Okay, enter target coordinates into the landing guidance system. Excellent. The same coordinates from when we landed our probe landers are inputted into the landing guidance system. So we're all set. Let's show landing predictions. Let's turn on the landing lights. And let's deploy landing gear, auto warp, deploy parachutes. Everything that we want active is active. Let's land at target. Alright, moving to high deorbit burn point. Okay, the deorbiting engines have fired. Really happy about them. They're not extremely powerful, but they do great for deorbiting. Deorbital purposes, these things do great. And I love that they're ejectable. They carry a lot of fuel. They're perfect for advanced orbital maneuvering. Heck, they could be orbiting engines instead of deorbital engines, but in this case, they're deorbital. Okay, target difference is 900 kilometers. Let's take a look, see what's going on here. Okay, right now we would land in the blue area. Our deorbiting engines are changing our trajectory. We're going for the red area right there. We're going for the zone where we landed 2 probe landers. We experimented. One probe lander came in with parachutes, and the other one came in with no parachutes. At the moment, I'm trying to decide what exactly I'm going to do. If I'm going to use parachutes or not use parachutes. That's the question. deorbiting engines are at full throttle, and they have been for a long time. You notice we still have a ton of fuel left. These things are awesome. We're at a target difference of 260 kilometers. Okay, we're getting close to our target zone. Negative vertical speed is increasing. Okay, and we're performing a course correction of about 37 delta V. We're coming in. Our speed is 1.6 kilometers a second. So we're coming in pretty fast. Okay, we're on target. I think right now I'm going to eject the deorbital engines. Deorbital engines are gone. Let's activate the landing engines. Landing engines are active. Let's fire the RCS thrusters. Okay, we're coming in hard. Traveling at 1.6 kilometers a second. We're actually increasing speed at the moment. We haven't hit the atmosphere yet, and we're time warping. Yeah, I need to figure something out with these orbital descent engines. They're just a hazard once they're ejected as far as like hitting my craft. So I'll have to add some solid fuel boosters to them, those separatrons, just to pull them away from my craft when they're ejected. Okay, we're coming in here. I can see our probe lander. It's 86 kilometers away. Hopefully our probe landers don't get taken out by these deorbiting engines. Not happy about them flying along with me. So they're going to take out whatever is around the landing zone. We're decelerating. We're at 1.7 kilometers a second. And we're starting to heat up. We're at about 20 kilometers, 21 kilometers. Notice the landing struts are really catching a lot of it. I mean, because we're re-entering here, and basically we're flying backwards, the Kerbals can't even see any flames. Wow. Traveling at 1.4 kilometers a second, we're really heating up here. Wow, the deorbiting engines are heating up too. They're also re-entering. We're passing them up though. That is crazy. I'm practically flying in formation with these deorbital engine fuel tanks and engines and fuel tanks. That's crazy. Let's see right into that one. Okay, we're still getting heated up a little here. We're at 600 meters a second. Okay, we're slowing down. We're at 8 kilometers altitude. RCS thrusters are on. Not liking this so far. Okay, I'm getting close to deploying the chutes. I do have an emergency setting here, emergency key binding. If I press 0, all my chutes deploy. But we're not going to do that yet. I'll have faith in the landing engines. They are very powerful. The Kerbodyne KR2L advanced engines. However, we need to be coming in at about a 90-degree angle. We're at 45 degrees. That's not going to work. 47 degrees. Hopefully these landing fins are doing their job. I put them on backwards because I knew you'd be coming in backwards. Okay. Come on, give me full power here in a second. Scary. All right. DEATHRAT Launch System 1 has landed. That was pretty intense. Very intense, actually. A little off the mark. The probe landers are in the distance over there. But that was a good landing. Okay, we'll we'll extend the first ladder. Extend the second ladder. We don't have to repack the parachute because we didn't use any parachutes. Rather amazing. Landed with no parachutes. Okay, Ludman, why don't you come out for a walk here real quick? Okay, Ludman's coming out for a walk. And there's Jool. It's a nice picture. Yeah, this lander is over-engineered. I'm glad I over-engineered these landing struts. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with what they took on that landing. That was an intense landing. White knuckle maneuver for sure. Yeah, this is just an awesome craft. It really is. It's huge. Oh, there's 2 probe landers in the distance that I just didn't feel like walking all the way to. Okay. We're ready to rock and roll here. Let's pull up. Ladder 1. Let's pull up ladder 2. And let's prepare ourselves for rendezvous with the mothership. Landing legs are retracted, not that it matters. Okay, let's retract this parachute too. I mean, our ladder. Okay, we're in vertical ascent mode. Okay, and we're trying to dock with DEATHRAT Launch System 1. It's coming in at 1.8 kilometers a second. We're doing good. We're not using asparagus staging on this, but we are, however, running the external tanks through these fuel lines into the center tank. So when the external tanks are ejected, the center tank will be completely full. That one had a little damage. He's stuck down. It's okay. Okay, we're in the middle of our gravity turn. Gravity turn is looking good. the atmosphere of the planet Layhe. Okay, let me turn on. Oh, RCS thrusters are on. Coasting to the edge of the atmosphere. The Kerbal KR2L advanced engines were glowing red a couple seconds ago. Okay, and let's deploy the solar panels here. Lights are on. And we're coasting to our circularization burn point. Yeah. Not too happy about this. Our inclination is 6.642. I kind of messed up. We didn't actually launch into the same plane. It's okay, we'll deal with it. Okay, let's eject the external stage. Excellent. Alright, there we are, that's it. Okay, here we are. I've got my craft parked. 86.2. Let's eject. Decouple node. Okay, let's activate some RCS thrusters here. Okay, we should have docking contact here shortly. Okay, we've docked. Great. We're all one happy ship now. We've docked. We've accomplished our mission. We've landed on the surface. Let's actually aim prograde. Well, we're sitting here, we're orbital. Take a look at our delta V. We've got 2695. Basically 9 minutes of vacuum time. I mean, I don't really know what we're going to do with that exactly, but we're docked, and we're going to stay here in orbit until the next episode. So let's extend the solar panels. Craft is aiming prograde. Kerbals are happy, everything's good. Reactors are in standby mode. Let's see here. Yep, they're in standby mode. Excellent. That was a great flight. And we'll continue soon. We'll have to select another planet to go to. Maybe we'll go to Val.